Hey San Antonio, this is Robb from the MetalWorks tonight. I am at the Sunset Station, and it brings me esteemed pleasure to welcome astute frontman and legendary guitarist I have with me, the Motor City Madman, Mr. Ted Nugent. How you doing, Ted?
Astute gringo, at your service, mi amigo. Bienvenido, mi amigo de Mexicana. I'm proud that you're here. You know, me and San Antonio, we go way back. And I want to make it official right here on your camera, Rob. I've had 4 root canals in the last week, but I look good in pain. Pain serves me well, and it brings out a more emotional anger in my music. So we're going to pay tonight, aren't we, Rob?
You're going to make that guitar scream, huh, Ted?
Well, I can't control myself. I'm surrounded by the world's greatest musicians. I always have been. I think the reason my music defies gravity, and my lips are defying gravity tonight, I'm in such pain, it's ugly. At any rate, when you have Marco Mendoza at your side, probably the greatest bass player in the world today, and Tommy Clufettos from Detroit, one of the greatest drummers anywhere. And believe me, I know, because I've always had the world's greatest musicians. My music has a life of its own. We're actually scent marking a trail across America right now. This is 2002. I think this is like 40 years later that I've been performing. And it's never had such a volatility, such an energy, such a piss and vinegar, such an attitude and spirit. So I thank God that San Antonio has always supported me. And tonight we're changing the name. You said this is Sunset Station? Mm-hmm. Tonight we call it the Sunrise Station. I'm considering life as a piñata, and I'm handing out Louisville Sluggers that are lined with lead.
It's a great thing to have you in these parts. And just to make it official, was that the reason that you missed the book signing today because of the teeth?
Yeah, I've had to cancel a couple of book signing events, which are a great experience. I meet some wonderful people. But my jaw, it really feels like, you know, when you're at the peak of Novocaine after a terrible dentist visit, it stayed at that peak of electricity but the pain of the surgery for about 7 days now, and I'm about to lose it. But again, my music and just my career, I thank God every day. I do a lot of work with children's charities, and after spending time with children in hospitals that are really in pain, and children in wheelchairs that we bring to our concerts every night, I don't dare complain. So I'm not complaining, but it's overwhelming. I had to shut my mouth down a little bit in order to play the best music that I can. That's job number one. So I apologize to anybody who's inconvenienced by going to the book signings. But I do have a new book called Kill It and Grill It, which not only celebrates the ultimate Texas barbecue, but it also celebrates, I think, a quality of life recipe that my wife Shemaine and I have really perfected in the Nugent family home. And I like to share that higher level of awareness that comes from being clean and sober all your life, and from being a hunter and really respecting your gifts from God, whether you apply it to welding or guitar playing or writing a book. We really are blessed, and I think we should show respect for those blessings.
Absolutely. And San Antonio, for some of you who have not yet seen it, this is the latest from Ted Nugent and Shemaine. It's called Kill It and Grill It.
Yeah, boy.
And definitely this book is successful. It's on the Los Angeles Times top 10 cookbooks, so
Yeah.
it's definitely rocking.
Yeah.
Ted, tell me a little bit about this book. Is Shemaine the cook and you're the killer, or is it vice versa? Or do you like to do some cooking yourself?
Teamwork. I've always cooked myself. I crave independence. I crave taking care of everything myself, but it's ultimately most enjoyable and most gratifying when you have a teammate. And Shemaine is my blood sister, my goddess, my queen of the forest, my soulmate, my best hunting buddy. So Shemaine kills a lot of the food. She kills a lot of deer every year. And she also cooks, but I do a lot of killing. I come to Texas every year to the Young Ranch and the Wyo Ranch, the famous Wyo Ranch. I have my birthday party there every December. So Texas is like my home away from home. In fact, last time I checked, I'm more of a Texan than a lot of those Texans that hang out in the left lane. Why do they do that? Why do they hang out in the left lane like they're a bunch of dumb Yankees? I don't understand that. But no, the Kill It and Grill It, Rob, is a celebration that the healthiest food in the world and the most positive and beneficial environmental function that man can partake in today is indeed the honorable hands-on conservation lifestyle of hunting, fishing, and trapping, because via that inescapable reality that we take part in, we learn that our air, soil, and water quality, will be determined by the productivity of wildlife habitats. So I take that to heart. I've been a hunter my whole life, and I know I have a lot of blood brothers in Texas who have always been on the front lines of environmentalism. And Kill It and Grill It, again, it's full of great recipes, but overall, it's an identification of a higher level of awareness to appreciate this American dream with a little bit more respect and reverence. And that's, I think, why people come to tednugent.com every day. Rob, come there. Yeah. We have a talk back, and I get people of young and old and black and white and of every imaginable walk of life come on, and they stop smoking because of the book. Mm-hmm. They stop with the drugs and the alcohol and the bad food, and people are learning something. I'm just a stupid guitar player, but there's still some basic common sense that I think determines the energy of your music or the energy of your life, and it is ultimately delivered with venison and these natural resources that bring us quality protein.
Music has always been an outlet for you, Ted, and what's the contrast now as of late in the latter part of your career? You're using literary works now as an outlet. What's the contrast between the two for you personally?
Well, certainly, Rob, music has always represented a colloquialism, the universal communication of music. I believe that ideas, dreams, emotions, rules, defiance of rules, anything that the human spirit is capable of is expressed in music. I mean, I've gotten just the silliest songs in the world. I think Wango Tango is probably the most fun song that any gringo ever dared whip out on a guitar. So I have more fun than any 1,000 goofballs, you know. But I also have some very serious songs like Stormtroop and Little Miss Dangerous and Fred Bear. And on the new album, there's a song called Crave that celebrates the American dream and how we should quit drinking and driving and destroying each other's lives in this world. And I'm a DARE officer. I have great respect for the brave men and women of law enforcement and of the U.S. military. And I express what basically is a politically incorrect honesty, that we have a great debt that we owe the men and women who serve and protect us. And I find that it needs to be written. It needs to be talked about on your television show and on radio. I do radio and TV every day of the year, though I've taken a couple days off from the assault of media that I typically do because of the root canal. But I believe that we all have an intellectual and even a moral obligation to earn this American dream. And I think we the people have got to be more participatory in a we the people experiment in self-government. So I encourage people through my writings, through my music, through my interviews, through my speaking engagements to stand up for what they believe in, because I have supreme confidence that anybody who is driven to be productive and an asset to themselves, family, community, and nation will concur with the self-evident truths that are in my books and in my statements. And then I can also get goofy with the insane rock and roll that I've so perfected, but without the poison, without the drugs or the alcohol. And I think that's a good message for people.
Absolutely. And you referenced the song Crave, and the title of the new record out on September 24th will be called Crave Man. I've read a little bit about the upcoming music. I have not yet heard it, but people are saying that it's a kickback to the early roots of Ted Nugent, definitely still rocking and rolling. Tell us a little bit about the new music that you have coming out with Crave Man.
Crave Man, again, is a collaborative effort that I give great credence and great admiration to Marco Mendoza and Tommy Clufettos. And again, whether it's the damn Amboy Dukes or the damn Yankees or the damn Ted Nugent Band, all my damn musicians have been world-class musicians, just virtuosos. You know, you can always tell they have a spirit and a fire and a passion for their creativity. So Crave Man was a confluence of the rhythm and blues that Tommy and Marco so appreciate, by the black artists that really gave us the ultimate musical inspiration, and certainly all my heroes are black. The new album's Crave Man is dedicated to Rosa Parks, because Rosa Parks invented the middle finger, but I'm perfecting it. And the song Crave and the song, I wrote your theme song, by the way. Finally, someone has written your theme song, Rob. Pussy Whipped. And there's a lot of fun songs on the record, but there's a lot of serious statements about, you know, this gravity-defying career that I've been blessed with, and I want to show how much I appreciate it. But I'm an instinctual guy. I'm a knee-jerk, reactionary guy. My music always reflects the environment I explore, and I do explore. I try to go to that road less traveled. And when I share a campfire with Aboriginal peoples in America or Africa, I get an insight to a spirit that is timeless, and a spirit of true independence that I think Americans need to wake back up to. And Crave Man celebrates that with a passion and an emotion that is representative of my earlier work, but I think is also representative of all my work. If you ever, tonight we're playing almost the entire Crave Man CD on stage, and the songs go over just phenomenally because there is a fire. There is an attitude in my music, and everybody loves a good attitude. You know?
Teddy, let me end out this interview with a question from a fan's perspective. No doubt they could do another Behind the Music on you in the next few years because you're keeping yourself so busy and with all the things that you do. But after it's all said and done, what do you want the legacy of Ted Nugent to be, both from musicians' perspective and both from the fans?
Rob, ultimately I don't care. Ultimately, those that know me, my family, and my friends know that I put my heart and soul into the American dream. God bless my music, and I love my music. I crave my music, and it's a force to reckon with. But when it comes down to how I've parented, how I've raised my children, how I've communicated with my coworkers, how I've communicated with my friends, and how I've helped my fellow man by starting the Hunters for the Hungry program and doing all the charity work that we do with the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids, the Queen of the Forest. Our organization, the United Sportsmen of America, and the whole Nugent family, we do hundreds of charity activities every year. My critics will never admit that, and to them I say, eat me. It just doesn't matter what someone may think, because there's going to be a lot of people who I've shared campfires, both literally and figuratively with, that don't think anything. They know that I've been a man of my word, and that I've always given more back in than I've taken. And those that know will have a little grin on their face, and those that don't know can enjoy the music, or they can listen to rumors. But because I communicate all the time, especially at tednugent.com, we have hundreds of thousands of people every day. I think the truth about Ted Nugent is getting to be universal. They know that I'm just a guitar player, but that I truly care. So I think in the final analysis, people will go, he was a son of a bitch, but he cared. And he worked hard to be an asset to the American dream. And as long as people acknowledge that in various camps, I'll be a happy man, because my children will be proud of that.
And I know that one of those people was even quoted in your book. Joe Perry from Aerosmith said great things about you, and that everyone knows, love him or hate him, everybody can respect Ted because you know where you're at with him.
I don't play games, I'm too honest for some people, but they'll wake up, they'll learn someday. But my friends, I have a lot of friends. I get to come and share a family campfire, like I said, with thousands of people through my sunrise safaris and to the different adventures that I pursue every year. So I get to share some spiritual time with some great people, and that's good enough for me.
Awesome. Any last words, Ted, for the people out there in San Antonio?
San Antonio! My money! No, San Antonio's always been a lot of fun. You people deserve me. I love your guacamole jihad.
Remember San Antonio, how can you forget? Ted Nugent rocks right here on Robb's Metalworks.